Hello friends, I'm Dr. Yogesh Sehgal. I have completed my course from Chandigarh Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital. And after the graduation, I started to learn Sehgal method from my teacher and father, late Dr. M.L. Sehgal. Dr. M.L. Sehgal have written books about Sehgal method, and we call them ROH book series. And he had completed books from number 1 to 8. After that, from number 9 till number 15, there are books which I have compiled with Dr. Sanjay Sehgal, and later on, I have my own books called Feeling, Kingdom of Mind, Missing Links, Understanding and Applicability of Mind Rubrics, and Perfect Repertory of Mind. So today, friend, I'm going to talk about my first session about my perfect repertory of mind. So I'm presenting today my new book, number 18. It's called Perfect Repertory of Mind. It's dedicated to my beloved Guruji and father and my mother, late Dr. M.S. Sehgal and late Shrimati Bimla Sehgal. It is always our endeavor to bring genuine information in our books, which is based on 100% verified clinical work and from the original work done by stalwarts. On one side, as a practitioner, I have been always trying to bring success in my cases by making amendments in the pattern of case taking, better understanding of the patient, medicine, and rubrics. With every failure, I always assess where I'm lacking and what I'm lacking. The first part toward being more successful in the year 1999, I had made Perfect Materia Medica of Mind, in which I had clubbed rubrics belongs to one medicine from different repertories in order to overcome my limitations. This book has been helping practitioners all over the world. After practicing for 23 years in 2012, I came to a conclusion that something has to be done exclusively on the repertory part. My second path to improve my success was to prepare a repertory, as I believe that a good case taking can be spoiled by wrong selection of rubrics, especially if they get modified in terms of the placement and change of even one word. For example, in Complete Repertory 2016 edition, we see there is a rubric in the mind section, anger, mistake about his. In Synthesis Repertory, it is in the mind section, anger, mistake about his with 15 medicines. So you see there is a incomplete repertory, there is addition of another 5 remedies. In the Kent is the original one. The rubric is placed like anger, mistake over his with 3 medicines. So you see, friends, here, first thing the word over is replaced by about, and with addition of 11 medicine in synthesis and 16 medicines in complete repertory. The word over has been replaced by about. Let us study how a change in the word can change the understanding of the whole rubric. Over means against. Is a patient has anger against himself for making the mistake which he could have avoided. For example, I ate spicy food in spite of knowing that it can affect me. For that, I can't forgive myself. Sometimes an impulse comes with the desire to beat or punish myself because it is always that I make such hue and cry that I disturb the peace of everyone around without verifying the fact and waiting till the real position is clear. Now means connected or associated. A patient merely connects his problem with the mistake he had made, which he could have avoided. For example, I ate spicy food by thinking It would not harm me, but that was my mistake. Had I not eaten the food, I would not have been in trouble. For example, and many more like this, I had started to work on repertories from the time of Dr. Honeyman to the present era. I found the answer that I am lacking in information and proper knowledge from the repertories of old stuff. After a hard work of 2 years, I have compiled a repertory which is based on all the old repertories from the stalwarts like Samuel Hahnemann and Dr. Knerr, Dr. LNTF, Dr. Von Dr. Galvardian JP, Dr. Jahr GHG, Dr. Pierre Schmidt, Dr. Kunzli J, Dr. Clarke J, Dr. OE Boericke Repertory, Dr. S, and some addition from late Dr. M.L. Sehgal. Hahnemann was the founder of homeopathy. He had established the fundamental principle of the science and art of homeopathy. No work in homeopathy can be completed without mentioning his work. Repertory, few rubrics have been added from his work. Dr. J.T. Kent was a pioneer in the evolution of the repertory because of extensive content and logical structure. Kent gathered together all that was in earlier repertories, then added his own notes. He had verified symptoms as far as possible. From the beginning of the practice, I have been using it frequently for its utility and practicability. Globally, all the students learn it by heart and it is often used by practitioners. Dr. Clemens von Boenninghausen. The Dr. Boenninghausen made repertory on the advice of Dr. Hahnemann. It was very difficult and time consuming to select the similimum from the vast materia medica. Hence, the idea of repertory was the only answer. Hahnemann used the repertory and found it very handy and useful. On Henry Clarke, he was an orthodox physician who had converted to homeopathy and worked immensely in the advancement of homeopathy. He especially designed the repertory for the study of his huge materia medica, study of materia medica. His repertory is very useful to facilitate the selection of remedy on the basis of pathological similarity or conditional clinical condition, causation, and temperaments. Dr. Calvin B. Knerr, he attended the Allentown College Institute and graduated from Hahnemann Medical College 1869, being a student of Dr. C. Henry. He had transformed his work into a repertory of 2 volumes. Knerr's repertory belonged to Puritan group of repertory as well as concordance. These detail empirical data concerning modalities and clinical symptoms are very helpful for the practitioner. Knerr repertory has helped me in my cases a lot. Dr. Jean-Pierre Gallavardin was a physician at the homeopathic hospital in Lyons. While working on mental disease, he had tested and extended the drug which treat psychiatric patients. Nearly all the followers of Sehgal method use the rubric from him, like rubric Regulus and medicine belladonna, under upon which late Dr. Sehgal has worked extensively. Dr. Oscar A. Boericke, the Materia Medica of William Boericke, which has been widely used in the English-speaking world, was transcribed into a repertory by O. E. Boericke. It has the advantage of presenting a great many new drugs in English. Technical or clinical terms are often as rubric and also bracketed, thus assuming as subsidiary place, which is in strict accord with the homeopathic requirement to prescribe for the symptom of each specific case and not for mere name of disease. Dr. Timothy Field Allen, Dr. Allen compiled the Encyclopedia of Pure Materia Medica over the course of 10 years. It is record of all the proving of homeopathic medicine recorded up to that point. Incomparable benefit of Allen's work is that the symptoms are recorded in the actual word of the prover, George Henrik Gottlieb Zahr. After studying in a Moravian college about 1825, he got to know Samuel Hahnemann, assistant he became. On Harriman's recommendation, he went to the University of Bonn to get a medical education. After his graduation, he went to Liege to practice, but soon followed Harriman when the latter moved to Paris in 1835. Shankar Raghunath Phatak was famous physician from Maharashtra. He was physician of modern school and converted to homeopathy. Essentially, Phatak's repertory is based on Boger's syncopic key. If one studies Boericke's there is a supplementary reference table where Boger had given ideas about forming a new repertory. The Phatak says while interpreting symptom, try looking at the same thing from various angles. It is really what Dr. Sehgal has told us. Dr. Peter Schmidt, he had obtained his homeopathic knowledge in direct line from Kent from his 50 years of practical experience. From his course to the groupment Hahnemannian de Leon included in his repertory. Those Kunzli von Friedelsberg was a Swiss Orthodox physician and ecologist, converted to homeopathy as his father and his grandfather were already homeopathic doctors. In 1849, Dr. Kunzli began his practice in St. Gallen, Switzerland, in pure classical homeopathy. With Dr. Madanlal Sehgal, a few additions have been done in the repertory from his clinical experience, which have been verified time and again by him and his many followers with a great success. Now, the main question comes, what is the need for making this repertory by me? After lots of hard work, late Dr. Samuel Sehgal found a solution to find similimum on the basis of mental state of the patient. It was a big revolution in the field of homeopathy. At his discovery, homeopathic practitioners started giving importance to mind rubrics. The idea of this repertory is to bring original information. I have maintained the integrity and authenticity to deliver you experience of the stalwarts of homeopathy. I have not made any addition or deletion from the books used from the above. Kind of accuracy which is being maintained gives us freedom to work with confidence. It is not only the rubric which is important, but the understanding of the language of the rubric and the medicine given under it also play a major role for our cases. It is humanly impossible to open all the books and cross-select the rubric and the repertories. This book gives an advantage that a practitioner will get the rubric from all the old repertories. This, what are the benefit of the repertory? Number one, for the student, it is easier how to find the mind rubric and medicine from the old stalwarts. This, it can save their time and also give 100% surety about the authenticity of the content. For a practitioner, it is very important that our tools, repertories, and material should be accurate and the information has to be from the original source for the success in their practice. Not even that, but if we save 10 minutes in every case, just imagine the number of minutes you save in 1 year. How the repertory is different from repertories. To make repertory easily readable, I have put the name of the author in front of every medicine so that a reader does not need to remember the number, to look for the number as it takes time. For example, you see, we have, for example, in the rubric after that is written K in the bracket means this rubric is coming originally from Dr. Kent. And now you will see that under it there is a Jahr, Boericke, Gallavardin. So it means that after Dr. Kent, this rubric has been used by other practitioners also, and they have added their medicine which they have used for this rubric under this rubric. So this rubric become wider because of the use by other practitioners from the old stalwarts. Another benefit, if you will get the rubric exactly as mentioned in the original repertories, for example, incomplete or synthetic repertory, activity during perspiration is a rubric with 7 medicines, as you see on the screen. In Allen's repertory, the rubric which is originally written by is like activity mental during sweat. So you will see here word perspiration is replaced by sweat. In this repertory, it will be seen as activity mental during sweat. Allen, and only the one medicine is opium. Perspiration, what is perspiration? Means salty fluid secreted by sweat glands. And what is sweat? Use of physical or mental energy, hard work. Now, architect of the book. The main use base of the repertory is Dr. Kent. We have the rubric from Dr. Kent, frivolous. Answers slowly. And now you see here S. S means this rubric is coming from Samuel Hahnemann. Rubric is fear of being rejected. In the above rubrics, we can see that after the medicine, the author's name has been highlighted in short form by A and star, which represent Dr. Kent repertory, and supplement from his lecture and new remedies. And for example, for ATF means Dr. Allen, Knerr means Dr. Knerr, and CB means Boenninghausen, means Dr. Hassan, then Phatak, then PS means P.S. Schmidt, and S4 means late Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Important thing to notice is as the base of this repertory is Kent, that is why all the rubrics which are there in the Kent's repertory, but that rubric or the medicine under it are also presented in other repertories. Still, that rubric get highlighted in and star. Abrupt. You see here, it is mentioned K here. Platina is added by Allen. The interruption from the rubric originally comes from Dr. K, as also from one remedy, Helleborus from Knerr, and the effect is from Samuel Hahnemann and Centurious. Anguish weeping with. We have 2 remedies, which is coming from, the rubric is coming from now here from Allen repertory. The highlight of this repertory is that it has meaning and version under some important rubric. For example, Delirium blames himself for his fall. It is one of the most important rubrics used by Sehgal to prescribe opium. Now, like how to understand and how to read the rubrics. That is the art of Sehgal method. To read this rubric, first we learn about the word blame. Blame means to hold responsible for a fault. Interpretation, as you have seen from Dr. Phatak, that interpretation is necessary. In a state of imbalanced mind, the person holds himself responsible for a fault and treats his action as foolish. Version. Patient may say, I am suffering because of my own foolishness, means folly. Yesterday, I was on an invitation. Everyone was praising the food. I knew that if I will eat, then I may be in trouble next morning. So I was keeping myself awake. My friend who had hosted the party insisted me to have something. So to please him, I took a little bit. The food was so tasty that I could not stop myself and ate more than I could tolerate. As usual in the morning, I have developed a strong allergy. I'm telling to myself that I should not have eaten the same food. which aggravate my problem. I should have listened to my inner voice and control my temptation. To compile this repertory, I have got the support of Yogesh Sehgal and Dr. Vedant. Thanks to Indian Books and Periodicals for publishing this book and Homepath for making software for this.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. V, and right now I am sitting in England in Cotswold. One of the most famous iconic location in the world called as Button on Water. I'm enjoying myself and also I'm working. Whenever my patients need me, I'm available online and I'm using Homepath Firefly as my friend, as my companion wherever I go, because a medical emergency is a medical emergency. So whenever you need something, everything is available to Homepath, and I'm working as well as I'm enjoying. So thank you so much, Dr. Shah and Homepath, for empowering us in changing times and making us the global physicians, global homeopaths. Thank you so much.